Hello, this is Matt.
This is Jeremy. We are the Cinema Squad, and we're doing a little bit review on a bit of an older movie, a classic in my book, Little Shop of Horrors. It was the first time Matt had ever seen it, but he had seen the original before, so he went in original first, and then this one. Well, I saw this one first and saw the original after. And Matt, what did you think of the movie?
Honestly, I thought the movie was great.
It's in my top 10 favorite movie of all time. Rick Moranis and I always forget her name, Ellen Green, are just perfect as the characters. And go ahead.
Well, honestly, nobody does Rick Moranis like Rick Moranis does.
No one does Rick Moranis like Rick Moranis. I think we need Rick Moranis right now in our lives, but alas, he is still living pretty good on that Honey, I Shrunk the Kids money, so
yeah,
we probably will not see him.
It's all connected, don't worry.
Yeah. So, comparatively, which one did you like better, the original or the new one?
Well, I think the new one had more energy than the original one. Very upbeat. The original one was very... Yeah, it was funny. I like Jack. I did like the Jack Nicholson little cameo in there, even though I don't think he was famous at the time.
No, that was one of his first roles.
And it honestly makes you realize how actually old Jack Nicholson really is.
Yeah, he's
like it doesn't hit. It didn't really hit you when you're looking at him.
Yeah. I think Bill Murray does a great job of reprising that character and bringing different kind of light to him. The cameos, definitely John Candy and Jim Belushi, who plays the character at the end. I do want to note that we watched the theatrical cut, not the director's cut. I know Jim Belushi is not in the director's cut. That's a different actor.
To watch it.
I don't like the director's cut. I mean, I've watched it, and I probably will watch every once in a while, but theatrical cut, I enjoy them surviving at the end, and it's the characters, I don't want to see them die.
Well, it seems like they do kind of give a nod to the director's cut at the end of the theatrical cut.
Yeah, at the end of the theatrical cut, they kind of make a nod to it with the plant in the garden kind of thing, but just... if you've never seen the theatrical cut, it involves Audrey dying, and then she tells Seymour to feed her to the plant, that way that they can be together, kind of. And then Seymour tries to kill himself, and finds out that they've already replicated the plant and plan on selling it, so he tries to kill the plant, then he gets eaten, and then there's about 15 to 20 minutes of the plants just killing everyone on Earth. It's worth seeing once, but I wouldn't recommend... Well, it's up to you. What do you think? The ending is
basically,
better.
what he's trying to say is there are better ways to end it than that. He's not saying that's horrible.
It's not a bad ending, but I prefer... It's up to personal preference. And it's not that I love happy endings. I mean, I like the down endings too, like Sweeney Todd. That's a down ending. The Romeo and Juliet kind of both going out at the end, even sometimes if it's not quite as romantic as that.
Well, you know, it's actually pretty funny seeing Steve Martin in a role like that. Yes. He is very energetic, but I never saw him as a wife beater.
Yeah, that was...
Like, you got the guy from Cheaper by the Dozen, and that's the only thing you may know him from. You know, if you don't follow classic movies... If you don't follow classic comedies, if you're just like me and just...
If you're like Matt and you've never seen The Jerk before, which we will be watching and making sure to review as well, and a lot of people are slapping their heads right now thinking that you've never seen The Jerk before. So...
a lot of people, you never know. Some people might be saying, "What's The Jerk?"
Yeah. Maybe. So...
Maybe we'll have to watch The Jerk, too.
So please, if you've never seen Little Shop of Horrors, watch it.
Watch them both, actually.
Watch them both. Watch the original, watch the new one, watch the director's cut. They're all great films. Would you say any downsides to it?
Honestly, I know her character is done on purpose, the lead female.
Mm-hmm.
Audrey.
Yeah.
I have a feeling her character is done like that on purpose, but I just don't like her. And honestly, that's just my personal preference. I have a hard time showing empathy to stupidity.
Okay.
If you understand what I mean.
Yeah. Well, she played the same. She was the only actress in the movie, only person in the movie, who was from the original off Broadway production. She played Audrey then, and then she brought her on for the movie because they really didn't think anyone else could play her.
Other than the original girl that played Audrey, who would have been too old at that time, or dead.
Well, even then, I mean, like,
the original Audrey did a good job. She was just as much of an airhead, but
yeah, that was 30 years earlier.
Yeah,
though.
there was no connection between her and the dentist at the time.
No, not in the original movie.
In the new one, there is a connection. They are romantically involved in that. She does often come to work with black eyes. I think the worst we saw was broken arm, or like a sprained arm. She came in
sprained arm. Yeah.
She came in with a splint, and her arm was wrapped up.
Much like in the new one too.
Yeah, much like yeah. But in the original one, you really didn't see that. She was more something there for the original one. She was there. She was Seymour's goal.
Yeah.
That was the only purpose she played. I mean, in this one you see it too. Her only purpose really is Seymour's goal.
Yeah, he does it all for her.
Yeah, like I don't like female characters that don't do anything for themselves. I have a hard time with that, and it's the same complaint I would have in the original one, but that's also a product of its time.
Well, the thing is, though, she feels trapped in the relationship she's in with him.
Yeah.
And so her goal of it was to get past being beaten down, get past the fact that she had no self-image, get past her past, and try to have a happy life. That was her goal. So you can't really say she didn't really have anything in it.
It wasn't a strong goal. It was very much a goal like we all want to have, but
more that she needed it more than anyone because she lived in this bad situation. Everything about her life was a bad situation.
Which is again why I say the one from the 50s is a product of its time, where Audrey had no goal. She was just there to be Audrey. She was there for the plan to be called Audrey the Second. I'm talking about the original one right here, the original one from the 50s. In the new one, I'd say even then she still doesn't play. She still is Rick Moranis' goal, Seymour's goal. I agree with Jeremy. They did definitely give her a little more purpose by connecting her with the dentist, the abusive dentist, because that's giving her something she needs to escape from. It's giving her something that makes her a little more interesting. But as I said, I have issues. I do have issues empathizing with people with that kind of low self-esteem, where they feel they're trapped like that.
I do want to mention the fact that the movie does take place in the 50s, so saying she's a product of her time doesn't really work.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Both movies take place during the same time period.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely true. I'm talking about in the 50s, the one that was actually made in the 50s, not the one that's in the 50s.
They didn't really write.
They did not write women well at all.
And we'll get into that in a different thing. Yeah. That's a whole other. We'll talk about that video all its own.
Well, I guarantee we're gonna have
women's roles in film.
I actually really like to do a video like that. So hey, you know what? If you subscribe down here, somewhere down there, wherever the YouTube
and somewhere around there's the like button.
Somewhere,
just hit those real quick.
I think it looks like this. I mean, if you don't like it, you will do this, but don't do this because that will make us sad. You want to do this, and that would be all good. And then you subscribe. You subscribe, you get to see us post more videos, like something that's discussing the way, the roles women play in.
Much discussion to be had.
Much discussion. The way movies have changed over time, I'd like to think.
Yes.
But as for right now, this is this was Little Shop of Horrors.
Little Shop of Horrors. If you enjoyed Little Shop of Horrors, other movies you could check out, and if you like musical comedies, Sweeney Todd, as I mentioned, and the Rocky Horror Picture Show are of course classics that you should check out if you like those films. Rick Moranis Ghostbusters, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. If you want to see more Ellen Green, check out the show Pushing Daisies. She's on the whole series. With that, I think we covered a good amount, and I am Jeremy.
I am Matt. Join us next time when we bring you another great movie at Cinema Squad.
Thank you.